Hola, amigos. Welcome back to my YouTube channel and to another one of my Bring a Blanket live writing and productivity sprints. I was wanting to share the screen here with a picture of my gorgeous Hector. Hector is my chocolate Labrador, and he is wearing one of my t-shirts here. We have just had absolutely brilliant news about Hector. He had a big lump removed on Monday, but the histology has come back, and although it is a tumor, it's completely benign and he's healing up really well. So I just wanted to put him up on the screen for everybody today because he's just so cute and he's been so brave. Let's have a look and see who is in the chat today. We typically go for about 3 hours in these sprints, 25-minute sprints usually, although sometimes we mix in a 20-minute sprint. I'm going to be working on a variety of things, several camp projects that I'm working on, as well as just getting organized. But some people just clean their houses or answer emails or whatever. We're all just here to keep you company and keep you accountable. So we have Bonnie being Bonnie is here, says good morning, joining to get some writing in. Busy day ahead. It is lovely to have you here today, Bonnie. And the wonderful Linny Sprinkles is also here, heading to the library for revising my finished camp nano project. He's too excited today. What's your word count now with that project, Linny? Because it's just ridiculous. Percy Does Everything is also here saying hi, and with a very pretty purple heart there. And Kat Leo, who is the person responsible for the brilliant spreadsheet, which I have linked down in the description below, which lets you know everybody who is sprinting in the AuthorTube community. So make sure you check that out. Innie saying, oh, thank goodness it was benign. Yes, there have been a lot of tears, a lot of anguish. Kat says he's very handsome and glad he's doing well and it isn't dangerous. Yeah, he's gorgeous. Dreaming Truth is here, who won Nano yesterday. So congratulations. And says that my Hector's adorable. He is. Linny says 90K words even. How did you manage that? That's amazing. That's ridiculous. And Linny wrote the end on April the 18th. That is crazy. So are you revising it now, or are you going to move on to something else? I'm sure that you're not just going to let yourself rest up for the end of the month. That doesn't sound at all like the Linny that I know. So where are we? I am going to... what am I going to do? I'm going to take away the picture of Hector for now. There we go. Because I don't think I can share two things. Bring up the timer. I thought we should probably start with Judgmental Llama because I'm not being the most organized today. So I feel it might be a good idea to make use of him to sort us out. Linny says, I'm revising. I couldn't wait a week. Love it. Kay is here as well. Hello, Kay. Kat says, I'm a little sore today. Might have hurt myself at work. Oh, no. Well, technically, I didn't do it. The Gaylord giant box stock comes inside, gave out, and I fell in. Oh, no. Is there CCTV footage at all? Not that we'd be interested in seeing that, but just out of interest, I'd love to know about that. Okay, let's get started on this first sprint then, and then we can chat a little bit more in a bit. So let's all sprint and be completely awesome and productive in 3, 2, 1, let's go. There we go. That is the end of our first sprint. How did it go for you guys? Was it cool? Was it productive? I hope it was. Where are we going here? Let's make me big. There we go. Oh, I'm huge. Okay. Yes. So I was just kind of making a list of things that I need to do. And then I was emailing or WhatsApping or Facebook messaging all my friends who have been worrying about my dog Hector, to give them the good news about him. So that was nice. Flash fiction, because in less than 2 weeks now, I am going to be beginning to teach a writing group. And I thought for the first session, while everybody kind of gets settled in, we might do some flash fiction. But I've never really done any before. So I was doing a little bit of research all about it and finding some cool prompts and a little bit of background that I could give. So that was cool. And I know poor Linny's been having a rough time. Where were we? I know Shannon came in. Oh yeah, so poor Kat was telling us about her accident, but apparently she was just out of the way of the cameras. SB is lurking while she sorts herself out for a podcast interview that she's recording. Where else were we? And Kay is here, and Kay said that she's just going to spend this sprint like sorting herself out, gathering herself together. Yeah, poor Linny made it to the library, was looking for a good seat and has had a dreadful time. Panda or Andy from ET Graphics is here. It's super lovely of him to join. And yeah, so apparently poor Linny, they've taken away all the tables at the library and it's full of screaming children, including one baby who just won't stop crying. So that doesn't seem very fair at all. Andy was asking if I like working in the library. I have done ever since I was quite small, because I used to have an antique shop and kind of just across the road from it was a library. So I sometimes used to go and do my homework or my revising or whatever in the library. I used to love it there. Linny likes being surrounded by all these books. I don't know. It's cool to have kids in them and everything and having fun. But there's also people there that are like trying to be quiet. So I don't know. Joanne joined us. So that's super cool. Okay, so Andy was suggesting that Linny read to the screaming baby in soothing late night radio. It doesn't come to everybody. You've had to work really late in your sprint. And Andy's claiming that he's never been banned, I believe. I once got in trouble for doing something in the library, but that's a story for another. Percy does everything, says I was not ready for that ping. No, neither was I was like properly absorbed in finding really cool flash fiction prompts, and then suddenly it was like ding, and I was like, say what? Who? What? Bonnie's library has a set kids library. Yeah, I think that's the answer, isn't it? So the kids can like run around and do what they want and stuff, but there's just a space where people can be. And Percy does, and it's slow progress today. So I brought my blanket out. And Joanne also hates the sound of baby. I feel sorry for the people looking to help, but obviously they're doing sometimes you just can't comfort a baby for whatever reason. But yeah, it's a horrible sound. Then he says, I think it'll be okay. Sounds like they're doing story time for the kids. I think it's neat that my library does things like this for the community. Yeah, we used to have a brilliant library where we lived before, and they did so many things for the kids. It was really, really lovely. And one day, it was about a week before Halloween, and my youngest was only about 5, and he came into the library. And he was always very independent. I think it comes from being the youngest of 4. So he would like just go wandering up to people if he needed something. And he went wandering up to the librarians, and they were like, good morning, how are you? Because they all knew him, because we used to go in there all the time. And he was like, can you have a Halloween party for me, please? I'd really like a Halloween party. And they were like, what would you like to happen at the Halloween party? And he said, I'd like there to be games, and I'd like there to be cake, and I'd like there to be stories. And they said, yes, of course we will. And I didn't think anything else of it until I checked Facebook the next day, and they'd actually set up this event, and they held a Halloween party at the library because my son had asked for it. Can't ask for better service than that. Laura, oh, hello, Laura. I didn't know you were here. Hello. She says, I really miss my childhood library. It had a cat. That's awesome. That is absolutely awesome. And Lenny is jealous because Lenny loves cats. He says, I wish there were cats here. I see a spot of sunlight that would be amazing for a cat to nap in right now. But they could also have dogs. And then, because apparently dogs are like really calming for kids to read to. And there are dogs that are trained to just be all like lovely and calm and just sit near kids. And kids who are reluctant readers or nervous when they're reading, it's easier if they're reading to the dogs. I think that's so cool. Joanne says, I saw a baby to her. She just gave me a blank stare. I know, I hate it when you're trying to be really nice to little kids and they just completely blank you like, what? Bonnie says, what does Bonnie say? Is there a place I can show a video to you? I think it may be useful to you. Oh, cool. Yeah. Can you email it over to me? It's emma@emma-bennet.co.uk. I'll put that in the comments in a few minutes when I finish going through this. And Laura says, oh yes, quiet library with lots of people to stroke it. Perfect place for a cat. That would be awesome. And Betty is here from Betty's Books and Babblings. Hello, how are you? She's going to enjoy a cup of coffee and read The Bride Test. Oh, that sounds cool. Lenny says, I always think the kids are shy when they don't respond. Yes, I'm sure that's what it is, but I always just take it that tiny bit personally. And Bonnie is pointing out the summer library programs are coming. Yeah, so many books. They got a medal during the summer, and then they also got like a free swimming session at the local swimming pool, which was pretty cool. And Andy's pointing out to Bonnie that she's wrenched up, so show it here unless it's dodgy. She's not Aramis. She's not going to be showing anything dodgy. Then he says, the children are screaming and gathering closer to where I am now. This is an interesting library day, to be honest, despite the noise. I like being here. You need a big stick. You need a big stick to kind of poke them away. Oh, Oh, cool. Thank you, Bonnie. Bonnie has put the link for me here. That's awesome. YouTube. Is it a YouTube video about writing short stories? Cool. Thank you very much. Not for a very long time, and not like flash fiction. I just thought it would be really fun, kind of the timer, and then if they want to share what they've written, I think that would be cool. Linny says that he's weird. He thinks babies are ugly cute. Only my babies were cute. My babies were the cutest babies ever. And Linny says, I got half a page of revisions made. I was too active in chat this time round. Oh, I like that. You're blaming us when there's screaming kids all around you. Oh, and Linny is going to share the nano snippet with me for my book. That's really cool. Thank you. Yeah, so if anybody else has got any stories of them like overcoming adversity to win nano or camp nano, or if you have any tips for writers attempting nano, please email them over to me, and I will include them in the book that I am writing, and I'm going to publish in kind of September, in time for Preptober, to help people, especially if it's their first time doing nano. There's so many things for me to go through here. All bookshops and libraries should have cats, according to Laura Gomez. I agree. And Bonnie says, now I have the Matilda movie in my head. Cool. I have the new, is there a new one? There's a new show, isn't there? I love the original Matilda movie. It's cool. Percy does everything, says, oop, the mini storm outside my house is messing with my Wi-Fi. Oh no, how frustrating. Hope everyone's making good progress. And Joanne's old library used to have an anime club. Now that is cool. That is very, very cool. Show it, stream out. And writing groups, but things have changed since my favorite librarian left a few years ago. Yeah, a good librarian is amazing, isn't it? What's the time? I need to keep an eye on the time in case, because there's just so many lovely comments. Thanks, guys. Andy says, trained dogs are fantastic. They bring dogs around hospitals sometimes for pet comfort or something. Not sure what the technical term is. Yeah, they take them around care homes and things. Apparently, they're particularly good for people with Alzheimer's because they're very calming. Unless you're my husband, he doesn't like dogs, in which case, like, it would probably stress him out. Hello, Laura. How are you today? That's cool. Everybody's saying hello. And he says, if I were a baby, I'd ignore you, Elma. That's not very kind, is it? I didn't know we were saying unkind things today, Andy. Thought we were going to be nice today. Oh, and Laura Nettles has, and she's working on the proof edits. I'll check if you're wrenched up when I start the next timer. But if you are, then pop a link to the pre-order. If you're not, then I'll get you wrenched up and you can pop a link in a little bit. And the Margaret Pennard is here. Oh my goodness, celebrity in the midst. Everyone behave yourselves. Hello. And she's put all pretty like emoji things. So cool. Hello, Margaret. How are you today? And Musical Maggie is here as well. Hello. Thank you so much for joining us. Therapy animal. That's the word we were looking for. She used to work in a animal shelter. And saying good morning to everybody. There we go. Oh, and we've also been joined. Everybody's here today. Leaks from my neighbors and caused my carpet to get wet in the bedroom. Oh no, now my room smells and is drying out with some fans from carpet specialists. Oh no, what a day. That is rubbish. I am so sorry to hear that you are going through that. Oh, yeah, not a good day at all. Okay, so I did quite well before, but mental llama, maybe. I think if we do one more judgmental llama sprint and then we will be allowed Mr. Fox, I think, because we need to get stuff done today because I'm very much at all. So let us get this back up. Laura Nettles isn't wrenched yet, so I will do that in a second sprint. So let's be all productive and awesome in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. I missed the end of that sprint again. I'm just getting too absorbed. So that sprint, I was doing a little bit on one of my Camp Nano projects, which is the book all about how to win NaNoWriMo. I'm working on a section giving tips and advice on how to write faster so that you can really make the most of the time that you do have during Nano, especially for people who maybe work full time or have little kids. And so you really only have a set amount of time each day, maybe only a couple of hours to be able to write in. So how can you make the most of that couple of hours and get the words in that you need to in order to win Nano? So yeah, so that's like a really nice section to write. It's coming along really well. I should be finished like in the next couple of days with that part of my Camp Nano project anyway. One of my lovely sons heated up my tea for me, which was very kind. Right, let's have a look and see how you guys are getting on. Where were we? ML Bull came in. Laura put the pre-order link for her book Tiny Shivers there for anybody who would like to check it out. And the big news is that the children have vanished from the library. Balance returns, so that is awesome. And Laura Nettles put a snippet here of a short story that she's writing. So a small glass booth caught my eye at the end of the row. It was tall and reinforced with metal bindings along the corners of the prism of glass. Light bent when passing through the booth. Rainbows, the only spot of vibrant colour in the whole festival, contained within those 6 walls. I approached the rest of the interior coming into view. A large metal spider whose naked rivets were exposed was poised in the center. Long strips of dark hair hung from its mechanical body, accented by strands of blonde, red, and brunette. Across the front of the glass emblazoned the words tarot reading. I really, really like that. I really like the prisms of glass in particular, some really great imagery going on there. Awesome stuff. And Laura says, super excited to get back to this. Yeah. I'm wondering. So poor Linny has got a headache from the children, but hopefully it's going to go away soon. So that's good. And I was asking if Linny had got plenty of water, because my kids always joke that if their legs dropped off, I'd just suggest that they drink a big glass of water before I called an ambulance or anything. And Andy said the guilt was eating away at his soul after he was so mean to me, which it should, frankly. And then he left, which is fine. We don't need him. Whatever. Angela AB, hello, how are you today? She says, good morning all. I'm packing after a quick road trip to help my parents move. Going to try to settle down for a little editing of my non-fiction picture book. Cool. What is the picture book about? And Musical Maggie said, I finished the captions for presentation 1 and I'm almost done with the citations on presentation 2. Cool. What are the presentations on? I don't think I've seen that. I'd like to know. I'm nosy. Laura says, I think I spent that whole sprint looking for GPs on TikTok. I decided my main character is one of those hot Instagram TikTok doctors. Oh, wow. Nice. As long as he doesn't do pimple popping. Am I right? No pimple popping. I'm very excited to read this medical from you, Laura. It is sounding more and more exciting. Linny said, only did 3 pages of revision since I was messing with getting the library's Wi-Fi to work with me. To be fair, though, 1 page is heavily noted on. Okay, you've still got time. And Joanne says, oops. Oh, she's asking if we're promoting our stuff. Stick a link to your Ko-fi page if you like. We're not officially promoting stuff, but that's fine. And Angela says it's about our road trip to see the solar eclipse a few years ago. Oh, we like the solar eclipse. Oh, it was quite a while ago. I'm guessing it's the same one. There's not that many solar eclipses. It was a full solar eclipse, and we had a wonderful time with that. It was really cool. And Laura says, "Ew, no pimple popping." Yeah, so gross. But I also kind of watch them. What? It's when they get the ones in the ear. Oh, they're the best or the worst. Angela says, my kids also make fun of my efforts to get them to drink water. I know. It's so weird. But then I really don't get this whole thing with kids carrying around these massive bottles of water like everywhere they go. It's like, dude, you're going to be out the house for 20 minutes. You don't need a liter of water. You're fine. Like when I was little, we didn't go off to school with masses of water. We just had a drink at lunchtime. I'm guessing there was like a water fountain and we had some water from that. I don't remember, but I definitely didn't go around with a liter of water everywhere I went. It's crazy. What do they think is going to happen? Then he says, I don't think I'll get all 294 pages of the project revised before the end of April, but it's definitely a challenge I'm willing to try. Oh my goodness, Linny, and you wonder why you get headaches. It's this kind of stuff. It's all the pressure, all the challenges. You're amazing. You are ridiculously amazing and brilliant. Okay, right. Let's get on to our third sprint. We have been doing really, really well. So I feel that because he's awesome. Isn't he gorgeous? He's so lovely. Cool. And a cool story for you, talking about libraries. When I was at university in London, part of my course, I studied ancient history, and for part of it, we needed to study Latin over in the classics department. And one of the guys in my Latin class was Chris Martin from Coldplay. And we became friends, and we used to do our Latin homework together in the library. And we used to buy Ribena and Maltesers, and we used to hide them behind our books. And then when we knew there were no librarians around, we kind of used to bring it around and have a little slurp on our Ribena, have a Malteser, and get back to work. Yeah. That's a cool little story for you. And we've got, Joanne shared her link for her Ko-fi, and Angela says, I think it started when they closed all the water fountains everywhere and parents overcompensated, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think what we used to do. Maybe we just were completely dehydrated by the time we got home. I have no idea. Yeah, there we go. And Laura Gomez says, what the heck is that about my story? Yeah, he was just like this kind of slightly pimply guy with proper train track braces across his teeth, just kind of lovely, but a little bit awkward. And then a few years later, went and married Gwyneth Paltrow. And Linny says, thanks for the worry, really. I'll try to relax, but I'm itching to write again. So the sooner I can get this first round of revisions done, the better. Yeah, that's very cool. And let me just make sure that everybody's seen the link. So Joanne is raising money for commissioned character art for Project Sugar and Spice. So there's a link there if you would like to donate to her Ko-fi. Okay, right. Now we really are going to do some work. So let's be all awesome and productive in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. did that go for you? Was that like our third sprint? Maybe I've lost count. I feel it was our third, or was it our fourth? I don't know. Anyway, how did it go for you? That was a pretty good one for me. I think I got a few hundred words into my How to Win NaNoWriMo manuscript. So that was cool. Let's see how you all did and what was going on in the chats. I don't think there was a lot of chatting, just Laura and I. Let me see. Yeah, just Laura and I think, just talking about famous people that we knew at university, who we were obviously very, very close to. Yeah, so how did that go for you? Oh, Linny says, 4 pages revised, enjoying this still. That is brilliant, and I hope that your poor head is improving as well. I think I'm almost at the point of switching over to a different manuscript to work on today. I've just got, it's kind of annoying, I've only got like a few more sentences that I want to add onto the Nano one today, and then I'll do a little bit more planning this evening. That's what I tend to do during Nano and camp. Like before I go to bed, before I start reading, I have a notebook and kind of make any notes. I can't do that for the How to Win Nano project because all of that needs to be on my phone, but for the other projects I can, so I can kind of work out some more to do on that. But I have got some to keep me going today, so that's cool. I won't be bored, don't you worry. I also need to make up some posters for my creative writing class that I'm running, but I don't think that I'll attempt to do that now because I don't think that my Wi-Fi will handle Canva as well as StreamYard and the timer video as well. So Linny says it does feel a little better now. It's been quite it's been for quite a while. Yeah, I'm a fusspot, so I'll probably drive you mad asking about your head. It's what I do with like my kids as well. It's like every half an hour. How are you feeling? How's your headache? Is it any worse? Is it any better? How are you doing? How are you doing? Yeah, that's just the mom in me, I guess. The mom in me. Okay, so let's get this timer set up, ready for the next sprint. I actually really fancy having a read, but I think I've got too much to do that now. I think I'll just have to save that as like a reward later on. I started a new book last night. It's called Spirited by Julie Cohen, and it's historical fiction set during the witch trials. So that is good, and I'm quite anxious to get back to it actually. So it's best that that I leave it upstairs. And Linny says that he does the same thing. Yeah, I'm so annoying. It probably drives them completely mad. But just care, I guess. Okay, then, right. So we have got time for 2 more sprints if we kind of start another one quickly. So I hope it's okay with everybody, but I will go into another sprint I'm turning on again. Okay. That is sprint. I think number 4 done. Maybe number 4. Who knows? Who knows? Let's have a look and see how you did. That's definitely me finished with everything that I want to write on my phone, on my How to Win NaNoWriMo project. And I also went and found some broccoli in the fridge that's in our workshop, in an exciting turn of events during these sprints as well. But I left my cup of tea. I've just realized I left my cup of tea in the kitchen. That's annoying. I don't know if there's anybody really kind in my house who might go and get it for me, who might be in this room with me and feeling generous. Right, let's have a look. Right, okay. So Kay has joined us again. Kay's Wi-Fi was rubbish, apparently, but thank you. I got my tea. But that did mean that she got stuff done around the house, so that's really cool. Jen writes, romance popped in, which was like button, everyone. So thank you for making such a difference. I asked Jen what she was writing on, and she said nothing. As her numbers, and Linny was saying that she read quite a bit, or efficiency. So yeah, I reckon you should test that word count, and I will. Again, I have it mastered when I get things back on track. Awesome. I have no idea what my typing is, so that'll slow me down. And Linny says, I haven't, I really should, meaning the typing speed. I know I used to type 68 words per minute before November's Nano. Please do a test and let us know, because I think we're just so fascinated by how you're managing to get these amazing word counts. So it would be brilliant. And you go and just write. That's a big part of it. Yeah, I just can't do that. My story gets away from me, but I know that is the key for a lot of people, and I'm actually just writing about that in the chapter of my book at the moment. Jen says, I do a spreadsheet that tells me how many words per hour I think. Oh, very cool. Okay. Oh, brilliant. Thank you, Linny. Linny says, I just tested it, but I wasn't sitting correctly. Yeah, that does make a difference, doesn't it? But it says I write 82 words per minute when I sit funny with the laptop. And Joanne says, doing okay, just a bit tired, doing some client work, and it's tedious, not to mention how much filler words are in projects Sugar and Spice, starting to feel overwhelmed again. Oh, bless you. And Jen says, I can't wait to do client work again. Yeah, my Fiverr gigs are picking up at the moment, and I'm really enjoying working on them, actually. Can I just say something that I love about Linny? When I ask Linny to go and do a challenge or something, like 20 words per minute with 100% accuracy, that's pretty good. And Dreaming Truth has popped back in, our Camp Nano winner, along with Linny. Has anybody else won yet? We have 2 winners going on, asking how everybody's doing. Yeah. It's very early to be winning. You guys are amazing. I'm not quite sure. I'm still a bit behind with my word count for camp, but I'm definitely catching up. And fingers crossed, I should get a decent word count in today, because I've got several things I'm going to be working on like quite quickly. So that should be really cool. Okay. I'm beginning to get hungry. Oh, what my dinner? But it's only 5:22. So what is it? It's going to be like 2 hours until I get my dinner. This is rubbish. After I finish here, I'm going to get myself a snack. Right. Okay. So let's set up this, and we will do our final 25 minutes There we go. That is the end of the final stream for today. So I did a little bit on the novella that I'm writing, which is a follow-up to my book, The One That Got Away. I'm enjoying that, but I'm not absolutely sure of all of the storyline yet. So it's going quite slowly, but I am getting into it. I just need to finish working out exactly what's going to happen. So let's see how you guys got along and what's been going on in the chat. Lily said, I was curious and Googled how many words people write per minute, and it's usually 30 to 40 words, with more regular typists at 65 to 70 words. So your typing speed is pretty impressive. And I was telling Joanne about the good news about my doggo, because I knew that she hadn't been there for that. And Dreaming Truth was saying lovely things. And Linny says, and I can't emphasize this enough, as I'm extremely bad at math on top of the headache, I did the math correctly. It took me 56 hours to write my project over the course of 18 days, which is just ridiculously amazing. And Linny also said, I'm distracted now with the numbers. And Joanne was a bit fed up of tedious work, and Dreaming Truth was offering to help, which is so sweet. SD has just finished a pre-recorded author interview with CM Lockhart, which should be really, really good, I'm sure. And it's going to be airing in the middle of August, when my birthday is, right before her next book comes out. Dreaming Truth is saying it's a beautiful sunny day in the south. Yeah, it is so nice and sunny here today. It's lovely to be a little bit warmer. And Linny says, it means I averaged about 3 hours of pure recorded writing in a day. I also rewrote scenes that stumped me, so the numbers might actually be skewed. It's difficult to tell, isn't it? And SD saying, I'm doing well. The medicine from my surgery has me feeling a bit groggy, but I feel like I'm in a better place mentally than I have been for the last week. That is really, really good to hear. And Angela is also happy to hear about Hector. And Dreaming Truth said, I don't like the medicine doctors give after surgery. I'm stubborn, so I usually stop taking any pain meds 2 to 3 days after I get home. And people are wishing SD well and hoping that she heals quickly. And this is really cool. So SD had back surgery because you've spoken about this on your channel, haven't you? She's had a couple of back injuries, one from the military and one from falling down a mountain. My husband did that. The surgery was a new procedure for the spine, which sounds so cool. The jelly between vertebrae can decrease with injuries and cause pain. The surgery replaces that jelly instead of having to fuse discs. And the jelly comes from cadaver spines, which is interesting, but comes with a bit of an ew factor. It's amazing what they can do, isn't it? And SD says she's not feeling too bad, but like several people, stomped on my lower back. Oh. Laura Gomez says it would be cool if you could know whose jelly you got. Oh, Laura. Yeah, and I was saying that SD should really be resting and not filming podcast episodes. And where were we? Oh, that didn't show up. And Jen was agreeing with me. And SD says there are so many stories about people finding new likes and dislikes after having like heart or lung or whatever transplants. I'm wondering if something will change for me. That would be weird. Lois says, or you could suddenly speak French. That would be amazing. That would be absolutely amazing, wasn't it? The author interview was set up a while ago. The surgery was set up 2 weeks ago. So it was a dilemma, but I'm feeling okay. All right. And she said, that would be awesome. We OSD. I'm streaming later, but I might keep it short. I'll have to see how I feel because I have to get my son from quiet and take him to therapy beforehand. SD, I shouldn't whinge, but I really don't feel that you should be doing so much. Like, 24 hours after back surgery. Yeah. I wish I lived closer so I could help you out. Then he says, 5 pages revised, going to back up and go home to get something to eat. Thanks for the sprints, Emma. No problem, Lenny. Thank you so much for joining us. It is always a pleasure to have you here, darling. SD says, oh, glad to hear that about the fur baby. Thank you. Thank you. And Joanne says, that's awesome. Cool. Dreaming True says, is there a way to add up the time spent writing inside the Nano site? Oh, there might be. Yeah, it's quite clever. And Musical Maga says, both presentations complete. Well done. That is awesome. Apparently, SD says there used to be a way to add up time spent writing, but she doesn't think they have it anymore. Oh, that's a shame. It seems like that would be a cool thing for them to have. Anyway, thank you guys so much for joining me today. I'm going to be back, I think, tomorrow. I'm fairly sure. I did look up what sprints I was doing. And yes, tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday. There we go. I'm with it. I know what I'm doing. I'll be back at the same time tomorrow doing 3 more hours of sprints. So that's 3 p.m. GMT time. Well, actually, sorry, BST time. We've been having fun with that, haven't we, SD? So yeah, come and join me if you're able to. It would be lovely to have you here to work on whatever you would like. If you haven't had a chance to yet, if you could boop that like button, I'd really appreciate it. And subscribe if you're not already, because I have all sorts of cool stuff on this channel. Tomorrow at midday BST, I'm going to be having a video out all about my new publishing contract and how I managed to sell my book that I wrote during Nano last November to my publishers. So it would be really, really cool if you could check that out, if it's something that interests you. And I am going to go and cook some supper now because I'm absolutely starving. I will catch you again very soon. And thanks again for coming.